I'm here on Ile de la Cite. It's one of the islands in the middle of the Seine. It's the bigger island, and actually we're in this little park, and there's a lot of real Sunday stuff going on. Look at the Jaguar, old vintage Jaguar. There's a lot of Sunday stuff going on. People are playing pool. There are little kids out, lots of bike riders. We missed the videoing, the doggy action. Two Akitas met and played. Oh boy, that was really fun. This huge giant Akita. And one of them is over there. The other one went on his way. I didn't know they were going to be friendly. They checked each other out. They spent about 5 minutes checking each other out, and both of the owners were really careful, were very attentive, so there was no violence whatsoever. The two dogs had a great time. So this is a little park where, and I had a drink at the Boucher Cafe, and there's our friend. I think his name is Vladi the Akita. So I had a drink of wine there, and it's almost dinner time. It's hard to even get a seat at these cafes because they're sort of quote-unquote reserved for people coming for dinner. People have been hanging out, more bulls. People have been hanging out with bottles of wine and, picnic stuff, or sitting at a cafe. I guess all afternoon. I went to a movie, an interesting movie, kind of rare, by Otto Preminger with Linda Darnell. It was called Forever Amber, in Technicolor from 1947, released by 20th Century Fox. It was quite a fabulous epic, well over 2 hours long, almost 2.5 hours long. And we're just going to take a walk to the metro now. This area, it's very, very touristy, but as you can see, it's not crowded, and I don't think it ever is crowded for some reason. But I don't know where to eat on that little square. I have no idea. I know it would. You don't want to miss that. That's the Palais de Justice. Yeah, I think prices back there would be very expensive, and chances of, there's a bird, there we go. Chances of getting a decent meal, well, I'm sure that somebody will tell me. There is the left bank, 6 arrondissement. There's a gorgeous big studio right across the way in the middle, 2-story. You can see the huge windows. And here we go with the vintage Jag. It's absolutely gorgeous. And over here is the other side of the Seine, and because the Seine splits right here, and that you will be looking at the rive droite, or the right bank. And let's see. Well, another thing that's over here is I think the central police station is here, like police headquarters, and I've seen it in many French films, and I don't know if we're walking by it. Over there is Samaritan. I'm going to zoom in. Samaritan was a legendary department store, and I've never been inside. It's closed. It's been closed for quite a while. There have been all kinds of rumors about it being developed as condos or as a hotel, and they've never quite come to fruition. So, as far as I know, the inside is kind of in ruins right now. It's very, very sad, because that was, in its day, it was a glorious department store. I've seen a couple of 60s movies that are set in that store, and the place was incredible. Now, up there on the right bank, in the distance, where there are the huge gabled towers, roofs there, that's the Hotel de Ville, which is the Paris mayor's office. That's where they have two free, a bike here, pedicab. That's where they have two free exhibits on all the time, and there are usually lines to get in, but it is free. And in front of the Hotel de Ville over there, there's a huge square, and people do, well, it's just a great place to hang out. Sometimes there are little fairs there. There's a merry-go-round. I recommend checking it out. Plus, the Hotel de Ville has a big tourist desk that I don't think too many Americans know about it, but they have lots and lots of brochures that are free on the attractions of Paris that belong to the city of Paris. So that includes a number of museums. And if I'm not mistaken, the general admission to those museums, it's free. But if you go to a temporary exhibit, then there'll be a charge. But it's very nice to know about these free museums, and I think Balzac's house is one of them. Victor Hugo's house on the Place des Vosges is another. There are quite a few. That tower is kind of the landmark of the Marais. It was recently restored. And you can climb up to the top. I never have. I don't know about the obelisk. Right here, right there, that's the Théâtre de Ville. It's a big theater right off Châtelet. Châtelet is the big metro station. It's absolutely huge. I try to avoid Châtelet. In the distance, the white things poking up on top of that blue stuff on the roof. That's the Pompidou Center. Another must-see place. It's Paris's big modern art museum. There are maybe like 4 exhibits going on there all at one time. There's a separate building for Brancusi. There are always films. There's a chic restaurant on the top. There's a cafe. And I highly recommend it. It might be crowded, but it's one of those places, along with the Louvre and the Musée d'Orsay, that you've really got to go to in Paris. Now, we're checking the entire, well, not the entire, but a lot of the right bank here, a lot of the best places of the right bank. And down there, the gabled roof, the kind of tower, or pitched roof there, that's part of the Louvre Museum. So you can see that you can walk to the big sites of central Paris. They're just all together. Now, that is the oh no, yeah. Let's check it out. This is, I'm going to say it's the Conciergerie, and I might be wrong. And I'm just going to turn the corner. The metro is right around the corner. And then we'll see what this is. And just beyond the building across the street, the first building across the street, just beyond that is a wonderful kind of garden market with lots of plants and garden accessories, tablecloths, planters, things like that. And if you're a tourist, you might want to get something there to take home. It's not, I don't recall it being cheap. La Conciergerie, Sainte-Chapelle, right there. Place Dauphine is where we just were. And Sainte-Chapelle is the wonderful chapel with the famous stained glass windows. and there's always a line to get in there. But it's another Paris must-see if you you've got to be really gung-ho because there will be a line. I'm going to cross the street here. You can see we're right in the middle of all these tourists. And there we go, Châtelet across the way. Big post office. And I'll be turning off the camera in just a few seconds. I'm not going to shoot in the metro. Here are some of the buses, 96, that's a very handy bus. A kiosk, it's closed of course because it's Sunday. Another bus stop. Just to see. Noctilien, that's the night buses. And here, the numbers of bus that stop here. So there are 5 plus the night buses. I don't know. Oh, McDonald's. Oh my goodness. Wow. They try to be really ecological here in Paris. So that's kind of a typical McDonald's billboard for them. By the way, the colors are green, not red. Green and yellow here to show that they are a quote-unquote green business. There is the famous Saint-Chapelle right there. There's no line right now because they're closed. They're probably closed on Sunday and it's almost dinner time. This is the way to the garden market. They're permanent. It's kind of like a permanent pavilion of plants and all kinds of garden accessories. So I'm going to say goodbye now. We'll see you.